tremble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and all those of you in between, it is I, your host, Cranio Dad, coming at you tonight on Tuesday, the 14th of July, 2026. Earlier than I expected, later than I wanted, not the game I was anticipating, but here we are. I'm taking a small little break from the altars. I really enjoyed doing this Valheim build over the weekend a lot. It kind of just brought some good memories back, so I figured I'd do this tonight for a really chill night. It's been a very interesting day. My entire day was slated by my own choosing of meeting with the managers and above in my division to talk about some things and to get some input and some insight as to what they're experiencing, so I can then make a unexpected and unasked for presentation to senior leadership about the state of affairs for where I work and what we are doing. It's just kind of the things that I do to stir the pot. But that was a very full day. I made it to where I wasn't able to really get to my schoolwork until very late in the day. I got most of my schoolwork done, enough that I'm here, right? My goal is that I will not be able to stream if I don't get a certain quantity of my schoolwork done for the week on Tuesday, and then I have to finish it on Thursday before I'm allowed to stream. A few things were thrown at me that I wasn't quite prepared for, like apparently the final project is a podcast style recording for one of my classes. And I'm really looking forward to that. You guys might actually be able to experience some of that, I don't know, on Thursday. I'm debating on whether or not I'm going to do that here, just to capture the audio and then ship it, clip it and ship it. But we'll see. Why not make you guys learn a little something about the stuff that I'm doing while we're doing some things together. But all in all, things have been things. It is a very Tuesday. I'm glad that Monday is behind us. We're looking forward to the very hot weather that's coming for us soon. So there's that. Hate to get back to that, but it is what it is. But enough of that. I've got some refreshments. I've got some time. I need to de-stress, and I want to build. We're going to be picking up where we left off on Saturday with our dear friend Creative Dad over on Creative New, building the structure that I will bring up on the screen in just a little bit. But I hope all of you are doing well. I hope things are at least progressing. And if not, I hope that some kind of peace finds you soon, because we all need it. We all deserve to have the good things that we can. So when we last saw our adventurer, we need to do a few things. Not in caps. Oh. And we'll do... Oh, what? Oh, I put a period. It's been a while, Chad. It's been a while. But anyway, let's dig on in. We're going to take a look at where we are at. Haven't touched it. I let life get a hold of me and move some things ahead. And the building that we are working off of is this one here that you can see straight up there. I think it's 2 buildings. It could be 3. I'm not sure. The overall concept is that we are going to build it as close as we can to replicate what you see there. And then we're going to stylize and clean it all up. There's some things that, I don't really like. I don't like how some of the roof stuff looks. I want to fix that. We got a lot of different things that we're experimenting with. That looks like garbage. But we're going to try to fix some things and make some things happen. We were doing some experimentation over here for the top of the spire to fill that out. But we're just going to kind of keep trucking along. We're going to finish this side and just keep going. But this is just the kind of stuff I like to do to relax, to get out of it, and to get my head out of the spaces that I'm in. So, let's get back to building. I believe we did all half panels because I'm super awesome. Nope. The corners are going to be tricky. I need to not line up with the corner to make things happen. All right, so then we go up, because this is just a replicant of that wall that's right next to it. We go up. And we still go up. And then we go across. First we do... Oh. I'm going to do this one a little differently. I'm going to do this one here and this one there. Let me see if that works the way that I think it's going to. But as always and as usual, chat, you can always feel free to give me ideas. Backseating during this creative build is 100% allowed. It is what I live for, to learn new ways, new ideas, think of things that I haven't thought of, all as part of what we are doing here together. The cool thing is that way down the line, you guys will have part in understanding the entire build when I probably produce another build video, which I haven't done in like 3 or 4 years. This one needs to be, wait, no, it can be that. It will work. It will still work. Oh, thank you, Zachary. Appreciate it. All right. And we just do the simple window treatment. Things I've done before on other builds. We do that there, that. And then we shift. There. There, not too bad. Not too bad. Now, the front's going to be slightly different because we decided to widen it. I didn't want the super skinny building, though it probably would have made more sense and saved me a lot of heartache when it comes to the overall height. So let's go and get the door out of the way. That's the easiest part. Handles on that side, so we'll go there. And then we just kind of fill everything in. Very boring front. Same thing, I can't use the corners because of how I nested things. And we're going to wind up stylizing, chat, so we're going to have the opportunity to add probably a window here in the front, and most likely a vent in the top. Now, I am going to get rid of and hope that nothing breaks that, or do the same kind of treatment that we did on the same kind of treatment that we did on the windows. We're going to do on the door, where we just basically nest another one on top of the other. It looks like it's framed in all the way at the door level, so we will go there, 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 and there. Now, we're gonna add a little bit of depth to this. Just a little tiny bit. I don't think it needs to be that full. I have a solution for that, and I'll come back to that. All right. And this has got a very broad and lowered front to it, which I think is actually satisfied by that look. And then it has a point on top. And what I think we can and should do is we're going to bring this one back in just a little bit more. I'm going to go right there and right there. That's a little bit, that's not deep enough, but it's the right concept for the look that I'm going for, to try to mimic that that large, probably 8-inch piece of wood that's on the top that's holding it all together. Now, because of the decision that I made to make this wider, we have a very clean top, but it does kind of mess with some of the angles that are there. We messed around with this. You guys can watch the stream on YouTube for that, to see why we ended up where we ended up. Now, I'm not going to do this side. And for now, I'm just going to block off the back. My very firm guess is that there are windows on the back of that. I think it'd be a little bit weird for there not to be. Or maybe there's a door and we could do a garden or something along those lines, right? All right, so what we have here is I'm still debating on what to do with this. I mean, we could just drop that and leave it at the squares the way that it is. It'll be very Valheim-esque. I think it makes the roof look a little too big, but I'm not liking this look down here. I think it just needs to be cleaned for now. And after reviewing the video, which I did a little bit over the weekend, I am not going to be doing what I normally do here. I'm going to do what we kind of just messed around with. I think that this, what we did here, looks a lot cleaner. Oh, that's why that happened. Yikes. Okay. That is a problem that I was not quite ready for. I wish they made these without the top rail. I'll say it. It would be nice, because you can't quite make it work with the little ones. Not cleanly. And the big ones are going to draw a whole nother line. Unless I do some overlap. We'll just kind of aim like that. And then we attach there. And then we attach there. And then we attach there. Now, just to confirm, to make sure it's the way that I want, there we go. No exposed wood. Let's go ahead and close this up. How do we do that? We did probably a step from the back. Like that. And then we have 1, 2, and then a wall. All right. Let me do another one like this. And then I think we're good. All right, now we'll do the same treatment for the roof over here. And then we'll be able to call this one okay. So we turn and we got to hold shift. Kind of line it up the best that we can. A smarter way to have done this would have been going off of the top. Right there. Going off of that would have been a smarter play. But I connected to the wrong piece. So let's go with what we got. Not air bottom, not bottom, not top, not auto. This is going to be fun. This one right here is going to be a little interesting. So it's not going to be snapped. But nobody will notice. It'll be up in the dark. All right. So here's some things we can tell. There are paneled sections held up by large oak staves on the middle building. Each section we're going to assume is 2 meters wide. So it's going to be a 2x2 or a 1x2. From the wall, we can see 1, 2, 3 sections coming forward. Again, the whole intent is to build this as accurately as we can to the image. We're going to make the executive decision that these are actually connected. And we said 1, 2, 3. 3 forward. 1, 2, 3. Now, there's a double window, which is 4 or 2. And there's one on each side, so that's going to be 4 across the front. We widened this one instead of it being probably 2 across, 2.5 across. So we're going to make this one wider as well to keep the same look. Let's go ahead and get some dirt and fix some things up. All right, so we're going to make this a little bit bigger than the 4. It's just looking at this structure. Almost want to tear this down and redo it. But we're not going to, chat. We're going to move forward. So we're going to then make the windows 3 wide, which would be 6, 7, 8, 9, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's see where we're at there. So we know that from the picture, there's a pole, there's a pole, there's a pole, there's a pole. And then there's going to be a section, 2 windows, and then a section, and then it's going to recess a little bit, and there's going to be a door. So I think that works with what we're trying to do. Now the pain is 1, 2, 3, 4. This roof sits a little bit lower by about 2 meters. So what I'm actually going to do is, just for sizing, I'm going to move these down. It's also slightly recessed, but I'm not too worried about the recess at this point. I think we can make it work. Or, in order to get the recessed look, we connect the buildings this way. Let's do singles for now. Oh, nope, nope, nope. Take those down. We'll run that out. And we will do this. And we're going to do a bottom third line. It might be reversed, and that's fine. So this is unfortunately the same 45-degree slope, which I don't like, but we are here and we're going to do that. And then right out of the gate at this level here, we're going to have more structure being built up for the bottom of that square that sits on the roof. I'm really looking forward to adding some of my own flair and style to this. Now, this house does not sit as far back as the other one. There we go. Then we got the rough outline for what we're going to be working with, not including the entrance, which we know is recessed by a little bit. It's recessed by about that much. We're going to have to make it at least too wide to fit the door the way that it looks like it's going to need. Fix some of this level so we don't keep running into issues with the rise and the fall of the earth. This is going to take up more space than I had anticipated, which is fine because that third house is definitely detached. So, from what I can see, this probably does not go all the way back either. Just guessing. We're actually going to add stone to the very front. And then steps. I think we're going to add a porch. And then steps. I know there's one set of steps there, but in order to get the arch the way that it needs to, I think that's just the best route to go. It looks like there's a little bit of wood there. Kind of like this. Actually, it would make more sense for it to be like this. All right, now, before we go all sorts of crazy, let's finish what we were doing here. I can't remember, does this poke through? It does. So we will not be doing that. And the interesting that I like about this is the windows are actually higher than I would think they would be. Where do I add the one? Add the one in the middle. We'll do something cool with that when we stylize. All right. So since we broadened the other one, we have to broaden this one. We'll go there. And we will go... Yeah, I got a really cool idea already for the center of this. Now, see, you would think that's the windows, and it might be the window. I don't think it is. I think because we broadened it, we're going to have to make the windows higher. We'll see. How are we looking on roof for this? Oh man, this is gonna be way too tall. So we go to my preferred 26. We can make that work. Man, I really want to tear that down. And make it the right size. Beautiful thing about creative is you could just test, right? Give myself some better stamina food. This is ridiculous. Do I have stamina hack running? I do. Oh, do I need to enable it? I bet you I need to enable it. There. Ah. Spend 30 seconds and take a look at the config, and everything is already better. So I want to see something really fast. First, let me do this. All right. So if we go 1, 2, 3 across. Just checking it out, chat. See if it's worth our time to fix this problem now, because I don't think the things are going to work the way I want them to. So if we do 1, 2, 3 across, that's really narrow. What did we wind up doing? We did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 across, because the door needs to be centered, but I can center on 4 and make it look kind of cool. And the roof slopes backwards, so that's fine. So just to do a very down and dirty mock-up, do that, which gives us a lot of opportunity for style in the future. Do the door. We're doing 2 panels high. And 1 panel across the top. Put some stone stairs down just to make it look the way that it needs to. All right, so if that were our actual front, and then we do the smart thing, from what I can tell, because there's actually a recess I wasn't accounting for, and we do this. Followed by this. We get rid of that block. And we put another heavy block in line here. I have a bad feeling, chat, that I'm going to have to rebuild everything. It is the nature of this particular beast. We do, just for good measure, which would look kind of cool on the inside. Do a block down here, which would then divide the two houses, right? The two buildings. That would then allow us to make the front of this one the actual true measurement, because we have 3 coming out, right? 1, 2, 3 visible. So we need to come out 1 more. And then it would be, that's the corner, window, window, wall, recess the stairs. And just for proof of concept, to see if this is what we absolutely need to do, it would be 1 height shorter. Kind of wish I had this as like a 3D print. And then we would have 45-degree roof going this way. For right now, we're just going to do that. And then we would do can down and dirty this. I think we can. Then we actually be able to do it this way. Why don't you want to meet? There we go. Then you do that, and you grab another couple 45s, and you make it come out a little bit further. That's how you get your cute little overhang using the right pieces. You just cover that all up with this. Doesn't need to be perfect, Cranio Dad. This is just proof of concept. And then so that roof needs to sit underneath there by a decent margin. These ones are actually supposed to hang off by 1 more for that overhang. And then I can go like this. Need a little bit extra because it overhangs the wall. These just kind of meet the wall, and that's not good enough for me. So we will do this there. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. We need to put that back and then put this. Okay, we put that there, and then we put this here. It's going to sit high, isn't it? Yeah, it is. So we go to another method. So it's risen up just a little bit, chat, which and it overhangs by a little bit, which makes me want to not scream. But what we can do is we can just grab the edge, I guess. See what happens when we grab the edge. Does that allow us to have... How do we resolve this? Is it going to be one? I don't know, chat. I think I gotta go rebuild that entire other thing. Now the stupid question. There's just no way this is going to work. It's just not possible. We're not going to get this lucky, chat. Is that, how does this look? I don't see this as being the right answer. We're going to try it anyway. So we're going to add another little one here. And we're going to go there. And for now, we're going to still do the single. And we're going to get rid of these ones. We should be able to tell. From this little addition here, we're going to do this one here, that there. Is that going to be... Oh, chat. That's the look, chat. That is absolutely the look. And then we do 1, 2, 3, 4. Come back 1. And we can do a little wood deck there to give the stairs a little bit more depth, unless we want to pull that all the way out. Chat. All right. It was fun while it lasted. Let's do this. Why am I tearing down the sides, chat? Because if we're going to do it, we're going to do it all the way right. The changes to the width will also change how we have to do a lot of this. So instead of trying to work around it and rig it together, I would rather rebuild the whole thing and rebuild it right. Yikes. It's nice to say, though, that this will significantly reduce the cost of this build, which makes it more survival friendly. So I'll give it that. All right. Now that hour and a half of work that we did on Saturday is completely almost gone. There we go. Let's reframe it. Let's do it right. Let's not make things bigger just because we want them bigger. I do think this is the right depth. I will say that, Chad. I don't think that we really overextended the depth too much. But we'll take a look at that while we're reframing. Let's get rid of our markers and actually figure it out. Look at you, stone. All right. And remove drops again. All right, so let's remap. So we are still going to stick with the fact that this is, well, now it's 3 wide. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. And this comes out 1, 2, 3. And then it comes across 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we have a little recess for the door. All of a sudden, this footprint has shrunk so much. All right, so let's take a look at this side. Let's be realistic with this side. So there's at least a 2, a 4. You can maybe say a 1 split in half. So if we did this, and this is the window. And then if we did that, perspective gets really weird really fast. Followed by that. Followed by that. And then you did the window and the end. It's literally half the size. I don't think that's what it is. I really think it's 2 window, 2 window. Two with this here. At least that's usable space, right? A little 3 by was at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What does that mean for roof height? Probably will actually work. That's the thing. 1, 2, 3. This is just checking roof height to see what the overall look's going to be like before we commit to this downscaled build. It's not as steep. I don't think we'd have the clearance for another window. The only way to get that additional space is what we originally had. I just feel like that's a better height. The 4 height, I think, is better. So I think we're going to keep the original width that we had, which means we didn't need to tear down that wall, but I'm glad we scienced it, so I feel more confident about it. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which means that 1, 2, 3, 4. This now becomes the center. It's almost like it's going to be identical to what we had before. And we're going to inset the window here and here, there and there. And we have door. We do this, this, this. We got mouth like this. And then we're going to do and this is a window. That's a window. Man, are they a little bit further apart? But we know that the scaling works, right? We've figured that out over there. Have we figured out the width of this building? No. So, 1, 2. This is going to be 4. I mean, we got to use the center peak? Probably. I think that's too high. It's literally half the height of the other one. Which we just configured to be 4. I guess it's... If we go any wider, then it's going to be taller, and that's not what we're looking for. So I guess that is it. All right, so... Then we're going to have a door. And we're going to assume... I know what assuming does, chat. But we're going to assume that... that building, that door is more of a side entrance, which was actually kind of a common thing. A little bit easier to protect. I think that doorway probably does not go all the way back. I don't think it's going to go this far back, but we'll try. And this is the rest of the shape of the middle house. Not with this, but with this. And if there is anything over here, it's going to be a fireplace. Because that's the only place it would really make sense, because it would warm that entire space. So I think that's our actual floor plan. Actually, looking at it, this isn't too shabby, to be completely honest. Yeah, I think that's it. Let's roll with this, chat. Need to figure out what to do. I think this is actually out here. I believe this is probably wood. And we're going to go with it that way. We're going to level this a little bit better. Not too bad. We'll leave that there. I like it a little bit more because it takes away from the edge a lot better. There we go. All right. We're going to go with this, chat. So let's get after it. I think we kind of overdid the sides, but I'm not going to complain too much about that. So these windows are at the top of the door. Let's put the door in. So the windows are in line with the top of the door. We'll work on the corners in a little bit. And we do this. We can put full walls in there. Put full walls in there. We're going to leave the back blank. I'm absolutely putting windows in. Just because we don't know what the back looks like, and I'd rather get the rough structure in. These can be full walls for now. There's a way that we can kind of do some smaller pieces and make a window. We might wind up doing that. I really do feel that this is the structure for that darkened corner between the two, and I do believe the buildings are connected. I noticed an interesting detail. It's going to make me actually do this on the front. We can run that there. We can run this here. The Thinking Talker, thank you so much. Appreciate it. I'm just trying to show how I go through my creative build process, and then I wind up doing a lot more with it. I add a whole bunch of my own little flair to it. This is just the overall process. I started it a little bit on Sunday. I just tore everything or Saturday. I just tore everything that I built on Saturday down. And my goal is to replicate as close as I can what's in that image, and then we're going to tweak it to make it more fun. We're going to add, all sorts of stuff to it. But I appreciate that. And those windows are at the same height, so we don't need to do too much extra there. Never been able to make anything more than a box with the trench in front of it. We all started there. All of us do. Happy to pass on any additional tips that I can to help with the build. For the windows, we're going to do the same thing we did earlier before we tore it all down. Instead of just making it a square, we're going to turn it 45 degrees. But I'm going to try something different on this one, where it's still just a square. We're going to put the center for 45. And then we're going to do the same kind of framing that we did last time, where we just nestle it on top. And instead of framing it out this way, I agree. This is one of my favorite parts, is the building in this game. It's why I keep coming back to the game itself. Is pretty replayable, but I really, really enjoy the building. It is honestly probably my favorite game when it comes to the building. So instead of building out first, we're going to go ahead and keep the same dimension for the top of the window that we had previously. By using those single floor pieces, we'll come back and cap it off. So now, what I want to see is which one looks better. I think this one looks better from the inside. But this one looks a little bit better from the outside. I like the beefiness to the window a little bit more. So we'll do what we always do. We'll think about it. And we can finish the rest of the wall. So we're going to deal with the overhang exactly the same way as we have before. We're going to go there and there. We're going to go ahead and run. We're going to do an oak log, I think, up this one. I think that's one change I'm going to make. Do the pole. And the reason we do the overhang is because it gives us an actual overhang. It adds depth automatically right to the start. You already have a whole nother 1 meter layer to what you're doing. We already know from our testing up there when we tore this all down that this is going to be 4. Maybe not going to work without support again. You're literally so just watching. Hey, I appreciate that. So we're going to keep that support running up and through and stay green yellow. Stay green yellow and I'll be happy. Now we got to do the same thing over here. Which means that I've got to change this wall. I'm not happy about changing this wall because I kind of like the look. But I'll let it grow on me. Like I said, chat, we will be putting all sorts of stuff back here. I want to get this back to where it was when I started the stream, before I demolished everything. We'll go there. And we do the same thing. Go up 2 for now. And one of the things I like to notice when I'm building in creative is where am I going to need support and how am I going to have to do it? Because those supports eventually lead to how you wind up having to build it. So for now, we know that this will be not there. Yeah, well, this will be right there. 1, 2. How? Oh, did it go down into... It did. All right, so we got to sync this by 1. Easy enough, chat. Easy enough. We could do it even easier. If you ever find yourself needing to sync things by 1, don't be afraid to throw some extra wood out there. And give yourself the opportunity to just sync it down by 1, because these will attach just as fine. Those. We're going to wind up leaving that inside fairly open, maybe with 1 or 2 support beams. It's my hope that with the restructure we did for this roof and this building and resizing, that we're going to wind up not having to have a center column for support. I mean, it looked really cool, but it was really obtrusive. And so far, I'm getting away with not having to use the iron reinforced. The inspiration from this is that image up there. I will randomly look for things. I'll look up Viking architecture or medieval architecture, and I have an entire folder full of photos and images and 3D renders and stuff like that. And what I wind up doing is I either build one exactly or I take a whole bunch of pieces from different ones and I just make it go. I try not to look for things that are in movies just because I think that's really well done by a lot of people who are not me. The overall inspiration of why I'm doing this right now is just because I've missed it. I've missed this game. I've missed playing. I've missed building. I'm taking a little break from the altars for right now. We are going to do the same thing we did before, where we sink that down a little bit. We're going to come in at a half instead of a full. I appreciate that. I've learned a lot from a lot of other architects as well. All right, let's do the half wall there And come on. Center. There we go. All right. And now we are going to put half, because it overlaps, it hides itself nicely, and that gives us the space that we're going to need. Now here's the fun question. Do I want to do this way, or do I want to do it the right way? Because the right way is actually not to do it here. But we're going to do it here. I think this will work just fine. Now we got to do the other half. So we will do this, this, and that. This is going to look a little rough. But there's some ways we can hide that cosmetically, I think. Come on. Okay, that's good. All right, now, what we learned from our previous experiment, I'm still working on this. I don't know how that's going to turn out yet. But what we learned is that what is really nice is starting here, and then we just build it with wood going backwards. But keeping true to style, we're going to do the 45 beams going up from this piece and that piece. Since I rebuilt this, I should have rebuilt this on a better angle, so that way we had more light. No worries, appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by. Thank you for the sub. And feel free to stop by anytime. It's always going to be on YouTube, and I got a bunch of other builds on my channel if you look in the Valheim section. They're all older because it's been a while, but I appreciate it. And we're going to go ahead and run this up too. That should be about fine. Oh yeah, Chad, that's going to work a lot better. Oh, but it's the wrong shape. Wrong shape. It's supposed to be a single square, which means this actually needs to be up here. I think I came in too early with the half. We are only going to make this a square. Let's define that now. Let's define that square structurally. And then back into it. Yeah, we came in a little bit too early with the half. Which is good. Because that means we can clean these up. And put fulls in. And it'll actually look cleaner at the top. I'll show you what I mean by that on this side, chat. So by taking these ones out and putting these ones in. Nope, taking these ones out and putting these ones in. When you look at the overall structure of the slate or the roofing, it's a lot easier to hide just through time and image this stuff up here where you're doing a bunch of layering than it is to hide it down here, because the eyes don't usually drift all the way up even though we're drawing a spire. What's going to happen is the spire is going to draw the attention and it's going to hide some of this. So the fact that we did that wrong in the first place was good. This is, I think, a much better outcome. Much better outcome. All right, now we can build up the spire. Which we said we were going to go to. Let's hope. Let's hope that I don't need to start using reinforced beams. So I want to try to keep this as... I mean, if you have tar roof, you're going to have reinforced beams. But let's find out. Do that. We're going to have to go reinforce beam. I can tell you right now, because that's red, that we still have the entire superstructure on the top to build. But we can add those in as we go. For now, we're just going to run them up the middle to see if that will give us some additional support that we need. We'll do the same on this one for now. And just for good measure, that should eliminate any problems that we will ever have. And wouldn't be too expensive. Was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? We're talking like 20 iron or less. And it supports the entire superstructure, which means the entire structure is supported. All right, so let's go ahead and cap off the tops to hide those iron beams. And now we're going to focus on... That's going to be a problem. Now we're going to focus on the upper structure build. So one of the things we know is that this one should be too high. Then there's a bar. And that window sits right on top of that bar. So is it really only too high? Or is that bar going to be replaced by something like this? And then we do the window there. Oh. The window's in dead center. For now, let's just box it. All right, so some of the things we're going to have to do is we're going to have to work around that not allowing to be logs anymore, at least through the window. So what we could do is we could hide the metal bars still. And I would always suggest cleaning up. It takes 2 seconds to clean up the sides. Just do it. Don't let these overlap. Then that'll allow us to put the same canted structure on the inside. It's not as high as the window is, but I think it's high enough. I think it will work. So I think we're going to stick with that for now. And we're going to run singles. Can't quite do doubles. Let's do that and that. And we're going to use the same trick before that we just did just moments ago on this inside to not let the wood overlap the pieces that it shouldn't. So we can get rid of that, 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 and that. And we'll come inside here. And we'll go back to the 45s. And we are going to see if we can get lucky enough to do this right. We're going to try to put it right there. 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 And there. Doesn't really overlap too much on the inside. What about the outside? Outside looks good. A little tiny bit recessed, but that's okay. For the practice, it's fine. Try to do the same thing here. Yeah, that's what I thought. That one definitely poked through. I don't know. That would work because I could hide that. And we got to do the side rails anyway. So it's actually going to work out pretty good. I think. And then we could put... Not quite enough. So we're going to cheat a little bit. Oh, there's actually nothing there for that. All right. So this is too tall. But that's where the window's supposed to go. So I think that's actually going to work out perfect. I really do. So let's go ahead and... Let's do logs for this. How far down do those poke through? Not one bit. Chat, this is working out better already. We get rid of those. It adds some larger depth. And the roundness actually helps draw the eye. And it hides some things. Alright, we know that this is going to stick out just a little bit all the way around. Smartest way to do that... It's too much. It sticks out all the way around. I guess we just do a lot of layering. And hope that we get lucky. Nope, not that way. Is there enough to do? That's too far. Way too far. Maybe we just do the same thing here. So we go this way. Oh no, we'll mess around with that later, chat. That's stylistic. But we will do what we did last time. Come to the side, kind of build it up a little bit, kind of build it up a little bit, kind of build it up a little bit. Do the same over here. Kind of build it up a little bit. Up a little bit. Up a little bit. That mostly achieves the look. We're going to go ahead and just cap this for now. I'm not going to do what I did last time. But we will finish framing out the edging. I'm already going to add something to this that I do for almost all my builds just because it looks classy. In my opinion. One of the things I love doing is adding these 1 meters that stick out. You can do one of two things, chat. You just leave them sticking out. They look cool. They look like the rafters are poking through, which is 100% the idea, right? Or if you want to step it up just a small amount, you do this. Right? So you actually have like this wind catch space that helps define the house. At no additional cost. It will not, unless things have changed, it will not deteriorate in the rain because it's literally touching roof. So it usually leaves it alone. But I don't know if we're going to build it out like that or just have the stakes sticking out. Last thing we want to add to this side will be the dragon. I'm debating on... I think I'm going to do this. Nope. You need to be connected to there. And you are not in the right spot. Because I didn't hit shift. I'm going to fix this one to match. Let's see. Might be able to get away with doing this. Nope, we won't. But we can do that. We'll clean that up a little bit more, but that adds a lot of depth. You can see it better from this side, I think. It adds a little overhang depth. It also won't go bad with rain damage because it's touching roof. All right. We're going to leave the back blank for now. But I think minus window treatments, we're almost back to where we were. Let's go ahead and finish up the side to get it the way that we wanted it. Which will look like this, chat. So that one has the same top roof, which we're going to do, or the little top overhang. Like a valance that's on the outside. Which is pretty easy to do. And then we kind of come from the top and we hit shift. We go to the very back. That way it sinks down. We go about halfway through the block. And we just kind of walk it forward. And I want to make the bottom of this one stick out for sure. Actually, that whole window sticks out. And we'll put a couple crossbars in there. Oh, that window I think is done. It's not perfect, but it's good. We finish up this one. And we'll finish up this one. We have some dimension to add to it, and that's not going to take us too long. But all in all, happy with how it's turned out. All right, now we got to add a little bit of depth. I'm going to do this. Hey, good. How you doing? We're not going to worry about the corners just yet because I do want to stylize those the same way that I have before. And we're going to add another layer here. It's okay if your English isn't very good. That's fine. Hope all that is going well. All right, nothing's sticking out. We don't have a cap yet, and that's fine. Now we've got to tear this down, and we're going to fix the front the way we did earlier over there. So we're going to get that to connect. Get that to connect. And then just like before. Oh no, we don't do it down here. Do it up here. You just add a little one. You grab a little extra roof. You extend out the vestibule. That's how you get the depth that is in the image. Tear that down. You put up your 45-degree angle bars. That wasn't right. There we go. And then you put one on top and one on the back. And we now have framed that in. If we wanted to go taller, it's way too easy to do that because we just literally stack. You don't even need to hit shift, just stack. There we've got the broad beam that goes on top. If you want to get super fancy, which we're going to do, to kind of bring that look, we're going to go ahead and put this a little bit further out. A little tiny bit. Then we're going to shift this one into, but overlapping, to make it look like a solid beam from the side. And then we're going to take the one and we're going to put it right there, which will look like it's capping off and gives that little flare on the front of the door, of the piece above. The cool thing is when you build things using these kind of pieces, it makes closing up one of two options. You can leave a really nice opening if you need some airflow, Or you literally just pull out the 45s. And slap them in the middle. You've got yourself the wood-backed door with a really cool line that works like a support bar, which we don't see there, but that's okay, right? You could do the whole shift-click thing like what we did in here. I just don't feel like doing that right now. But yeah, so we are now back to where we were on square one, minus the corners, which we're going to do, I think, dead last, just based on what we've learned. We're going to add some wood around the door. It definitely has some styling there. Stack it by hitting shift. And we will sync it by hitting shift. From the inside here. The patience is what you need to make the syncing that I'm doing work. See, like that's wrong. But that's better. That'll work. That'll work for what we are doing here, chat. All right, now. Hell-bent and determined to make some additional progress today. Because now we are back to where we were. We are going to do so. What did we figure out? We figured out that it's 3, and then you take away the 1. All right, so I'm going to put this down. Is that right? Find out. I'm suddenly very less feeling good about this. Because now it's the exact same level. So what did I do wrong? Oh. Wait, no. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. 2, 4. So not what we did here? Oh, I made the house shorter. Are you kidding me? Which, that's not that big of a deal because we caught it at the right time, chat. So what we're going to do is tear out this. This is the only side that it really matters on. Well, this is over here. That's fine. We'll make it work. And we are going to do this. And then we're going to grab a 1. Put it out. Here. We're going to put a roof of 45. Nope. That, and then the 45. Connect it into there, which will change all of that to the right color. And then we will replace that, that, and that with full squares to maintain the look on the inside. And then we can get rid of that. There we go. Crisis averted. And we know from our experiment over there. 1, 2. Well, now that it's 3 walls, I don't know. Now we're going to have to cap it. Let us deal with this problem. we go. So we could shorten up this roof, which would give us access to this roof, and kind of do some cool stuff here and not look horrible. It'll look functional, right? All right. And then about 2 in, this structure starts. It doesn't overhang. It does cover about half, but we're going to go with right here. This is just above the top, so that's the look we're looking for. And then we run this back. Clean this up. I have a feeling that on the inside we're already going to do this. Because for those of us that play Valheim, we like having a lot of open space. We need it. Making progress, chat. Making progress. And I think we're going to need to go wider. I think this goes out to here. Like, I will not be surprised if it does. Take a 45. Just for now, I'm okay with it. I'm not loving it. Just for now, chat. I'm not loving this. This part right here. But just to give us some ideas of what's going on where. Let's just call this where it is. All right. Well, chat, we're coming up on the hour and 45-minute mark. We are at 10 o'clock my time. I'm going to be calling it a little bit early tonight because tomorrow is an even longer day of stuff that I have going on at work. So let's save. turn this down. But I appreciate everybody for being here. Appreciate those of you that are watching this on YouTube, Kick, and Twitch. My normal streaming schedule is Tuesdays and Thursdays, usually starting between 8 or 9 p.m. Eastern and going until about 10 or 11. I'm trying to get to where I'm doing about 3 or 4 hours. I'm going to be mixing in some more Valheim. It's a good mental cleanse for me after some of the days that I've had. Let me do this. But I'll be back on Thursday. I might be back tomorrow. We'll see how tomorrow goes. I've got, my wife, my 4 kids, work, school. I've got stuff to do for school that I need to get done by Thursday. All on my docket. But I appreciate all being here. If you're on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you're watching this on reruns on Twitch for some reason, feel free to follow and all those fun things. I've got some stuff for you to check out. Tomorrow being Wednesday means I am posting another blog. I post blogs on craniodad.com Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. They're perspectives on fatherhood, leadership, and everything in between. Last week's ones were really heavy. This week's ones are going to be a little bit lighter, purposefully. But all that being said, I appreciate all of you. Thank you for just being present, hanging out in the background, or chatting. I'll talk to you all next time. Until I see you, much love. Stay safe. Wash your damn hands. I'll catch you on the next one. Night, everybody.
Your shadow stretching on the floor while the sun gets low. I got a feeling that the glow deep inside my core needs to breathe to flow. We push it right on through. I know you need it too. Because we have been working hard